Hi VC, back again. I'm only recording this video because I couldn't get back to sleep. I just can't, I don't know. Tried to go to sleep, wide awake. So I thought, I'll knock out a quick um, video that I thought I would do. Now this one it's not in any of my other runs, like it's not 12 by 12, it's not a vinyl wodge, it's not a Gimme 10 from the 90s. What it is, when I was a teenager, I really started to love garage rock. Well, not garage rock, garage punk, and sort of psych, 60s psych. And the way I found out about it was in the, and I might do a video on this band actually, everything I've got by them. But in the 80s, I got into a band called the Fuzz, and they were, were they from LA or San Francisco? Can't remember, but they were a West Coast um, garage punk revivalist band. And I absolutely loved them, and it kind of, along with this first record that I'm going to show, led me to really try and investigate, let's say, garage punk, psych, and all that kind of stuff a little bit more. Now, these are all compilations that I picked up when I was a teenager, maybe early 20s, um, probably more likely teenage, yeah, sort of late 80s I picked most of these up. So the first one, the one that really kicked it off, was this one. And this is called Psychotic Reactions, Early American Rock Groups. So this is one of those cheapo compilations. Now I saw this in my local R Price in Southgate in London, and I was just intrigued by the cover. I thought this was just great cover. I kept seeing it when I was flicking through the racks, and I thought one day, right, I'm going to get it. Only I didn't read the liner notes, because at the bottom it says, incidentally, the Count 5 and Castaway tracks heard in this album are the original recordings. The others are modern recreations by the acts concerned, cut between 76 and 81. Oh dear. But it was worth getting it just for the two tracks, because you've got Count 5 Psychotic Reaction on there, which is just one of the garage punk classics. I mean, it is an awesome record. It is probably, I'd have to stick it in as one of my favourite records of all time now. I think it is brilliant. And the other one was Castaways' Liar Liar, which is another great track. Um, I mean, so although I was ultimately disappointed with this, and I probably haven't played it for about 30 years, it kind of got me going on that genre. I mean, it's also got things like American Breed doing Bend Me, Shape Me. Another good one was the Hombres doing Let It All Hang Out. There's a version of Iron Butterfly doing In a Gala Vida. A Strawberry Alarm Clock doing Insects and Peppermints. So it got me started, but it was ultimately really disappointing. The next, I've got a few records from one series of albums issued by Rhino, and unfortunately I don't have a copy of the original Nuggets, or even a reissue of the original Nuggets. But what I did pick up, I picked up a lot of these. So these are the 1980s, mid-80s Nuggets albums on Rhino. And this is like another world. This was, when I first heard this, it was like, oh my god. So this is Nuggets Volume 1, The Hits. So these are all big tracks, and I just know all of these tracks so well. I mean, I played this album. So you've got the Leaves doing Hey Joe, which is a great version of that song. The Electric Prunes doing I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night, which is just an utter classic. Five Americans, I See the Light. Standell's doing Dirty Water, brilliant. The Human Beings, Nobody But Me. The Blues Magoos doing We Ain't Got Nothing Yet. The Barbarians, Are You a Boy or Are You a Girl? You got the Seas doing Pushing Too Hard. I mean, every single track of this is an utter classic. You got the Music Machine doing Talk Talk. Music Machine, oh my god, what a band. Count 5 doing Psychotic Reaction. The Balloon Farm doing A Question of Temperature. Just fantastic. The Naz doing Open My Eyes. Amboy Dukes, which is Ted Nugent's band, Journey to the Centre of the Mind, and rounding it all off is Blue Cheer's version of Summertime Blues. I mean, every single one of those is an absolute out-and-out garage punk classic. So no wonder it was called The Hits. Absolutely fabulous. I then got volume 2 of the series, which was Punk. So this is kind of I always like the fuzzier, punkier end of the garage music. I didn't like the pop sort of side, so I didn't get those, but I got this one. So things like you've got, what have we got on here? You've got Love doing My Little Red Book, Shadows of Night with a version of Gloria, one of umpteen versions I think I've got. More Seeds, more Music Machine, Chocolate Watch Band, Are You Gonna Be There at the Love-In? Delvet's doing Last Time Around, that's a great track. Vagrant's doing Respect, Standell's doing Try It. Standell's, what a great band. Shadows of Night doing I'm Gonna Make You Mine. More Music Machine, Eagle Never Hunts a Fly. The Leads, Too Many People. The Sonics, The Ultimate Garage Band. One of my favourites, and it never gets a mention anyway, the Elastic Band doing a song called Spaz. It is absolutely unbelievable. What a great track. And the Standells doing Sometime Good Guys Don't Wear White. So you're onto another winner here. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. And you've got really great liner notes on the back of all of them. This one comes in a plastic printed bag, and there's the Rhino. I'm only going to show one of them because I think they're all the same. I'll put that one away later. And then because I love punk so much, I got this one, which is volume 6, Punk Part 2. We probably shouldn't go through the whole lot, but there's so many good tracks on here. Mouse and the Traps, Captain Beefheart, Nightcrawler's doing Little Black Egg, absolutely love that. The Brogues, The Unrelated Segments, Blue Pearl, We the People, Shadows of Night again, Steppenwolf doing Suki Suki, more Chocolate Watch Band, The Grassroots, Mr. Jones, which is a great track, more Seeds, The Underdogs doing Love's Gone Bad, and another Electric Prunes track. So, I mean, this set is just a primer for garage punk, just absolutely brilliant. And what a great collection of band pictures. Took a step outside the punk stuff. I think I picked this one up cheap. But this is really good. This is a really good one. This is the folk rock volume. This is volume 10, and it's folk rock. So you've got, I mean, some of it's not obscure at all. You've got, you've got the Birds doing Tambourine Man, the Turtles, It Ain't Me Babe. You've got Grassroots, Jake Holmes doing Dazed and Confused, Sunshine Company, got Scott McKenzie doing San Francisco, Eve of Destruction, which I love that track, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, MFQ, Peanut Butter's Conspiracy, P.F. Sloan, sort of among the highlights of that one. Not as good as the punk ones, but it's still some really good stuff on there. Love that. And then the last one I got from the Nugget series was Punk Part 3, and they've gone obviously more obscure on this one. So you've got Syndicate Sound, although you've got Paul Revere and the Raiders, so they're hardly obscure. Kenny and the Casuals doing Journey to Time, that's brilliant. Mr. Pharmacist by the Other Half, as done by The Fall. The Spats doing She Done Move. You've got The Remains, Mac Frost and the Troopers, that's a great one. Shape of Things to Come. Hombres got the original version of the Hombres doing here. Let It Out. Who Do You Love by the Woolies. Mouse and the Traps. The Hard Being a Complex. My favourite garage punk song, The Lollipop Shop, doing You Must Be a Witch on this one. You Ain't Tough, The Uniques, and The Story of My Life with the unrelated segments. So, if I was going to point anybody towards a sort of a primer for garage punk, then I would say get copies of these ones. Absolutely brilliant. So because I must have picked these up cheap, I don't know. But the other big garage punk, fuzz punk, whatever you want to call it, series from the 80s was this one, Pebbles. I only got 2 of these, so we've got Pebbles Volume 9, and you can see them. Now this really is way more obscure than the Nuggets comps. What would be my favourite tracks on this one? I've Got to Get Some by the Bold, that's a good one. Do You Believe Me, Byron and the Mortals. Pretty Girl the Bugs, that's quite good. So, more punk rock, much more obscure. And what I really like about these is the notes on the back where they actually go through a little bit about each band. So, I remember reading these over and over again. I also got volume 10, which has got a fantastic cover. So, selection of bands off this one, you've got the Moonrakers, the Marauders, the Foggy Notions, Raga and the Talas, the Human Expression, the Wigwags, the Five Americans. I think the Five Americans actually had a hit, didn't they? Oh, of course, I See the Light. Yeah, because they're on Nuggets. So you've got an obscure one from here, Brogues. Don't Shoot Me Down. So yeah, more brilliant garage punk loveliness. Now Pebbles also did a load of albums called Highs in the mid-60s, and these were really quite obscure garage punk records. And they were geographically based, so you used to get, like, I don't know, Texas and Michigan and whatever. I only ever got one of these. I got this one, which is Highs in the Mid-60s, Volume 19, Michigan Part 3. Now, now the reason I got this is because I was so into this chap. Now, I don't know whether you can see that. Band name probably gives it away. But that is a certain Jimmy Osterberg, otherwise known as Iggy Pop, and the reason I got this is because I really wanted to hear the Iguanas, his first band, and this has one track by them. Which one is it? Again and Again. Really, it must have been mastered from a really beat up, scratchy copy of the original 7-inch, because it is really bad sounding, but it's great to hear it. But I'm so glad I got this because it's got some of my favourite garage punk songs on here. There's a couple on here, especially the French Church doing Slapneck 1943, I think is brilliant. And the Assortment doing Bless Our Hippie Home, which is great. You've got the Royal Chandels, Be Careful With Your Car Full. French Church doing Without Crying, that's a brilliant track. The Chessmen doing You Can't Catch Me, that's brilliant as well. So I really wish I had more of these, and if I ever see any, I'm going to start picking them up because this one is brilliant. And then just to round it off, there was another series of Psyche compilations, but focusing on the British side of things, and it was Rubble, which was put out by the band Caruso label, sort of around the late 80s, and these are just fantastic. I mean, here we go. This is volume 2, and this is Pop Psyche Pipe Dreams. And it's just some brilliant stuff on here, like Wimple Winch, they're brilliant. The Pretty Things, this is probably the first place where I heard the psychedelic Pretty Things, and it's got Defecting Grey on it. You've got Keith West, more Wimple Winch. You've got the Bow Street Runners, which are great. Idle Race doing Knocking Nails Into My House, which is Jeff Lynne's band. Spencer Davis Group doing After Tea. So it's just brilliant. And what I like about this one is all the band's information is on the inner sleeve, so you've actually got a really nice package there. I then got volume 3, which is Nightmares in Wonderland. You can see sort of the band names there, but it's got a lovely picture of the Jabberwocky on the back. So bands you got on here: The Brain, More Pretty Things, talking about the good times, which is great. Wild Silk, The Lemon Tree, William Chalker's Time Machine, that's great. Cuba's doing Barricades, Mr. Evasion by the Pretty Things, so many good songs. Edwick Rumbold doing Shades of Grey, The Penny Peeps, Model Village, Tomorrow, probably the best British, I don't know, one of the great British psychedelic bands doing Revolution, really great. And then just to round things off, I got volume 7, which is Pictures in the Sky. And here you've got things like the Orange Seaweed, the Glass Menagerie, the Onyx, the Primitives, not the 80s Primitives by the way, the Ivy League, the Factotums, more Cubas, Erky Grant and the Earwigs, fantastic, and the Velvet Fog. So lots of great British psych on there, really great, absolutely brilliant. So there we go, 12 psych, garage punk, fuzz punk, whatever you want to call it, albums that I loved when I was a teenager. So I hope you've enjoyed that quick trawl through some compilations, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye VC.